Nobody warns you that growing can feel like losing people. The further you go, the more alone the road gets. And I don't think anyone talks about this honestly enough. So let's talk about it. There's a version of self-improvement nobody puts on the motivation poster. It's the version where you change, genuinely, meaningfully change, and look up one day to find that the people around you feel further away. Not because anything dramatic happened. No falling out. No argument. No big moment. Just a slow, quiet drift. You started waking up earlier. They didn't. You stopped drinking as much. They didn't. You started caring deeply about where you were going. And they were perfectly happy where they were. And suddenly the conversations you used to have for hours start running out of road after 20 minutes. You find yourself editing what you say. Hiding how much you've changed. Pretending you're still exactly who you were, because it's easier than watching someone look at you like you've become a stranger. That feeling? That specific, quiet ache? That's the loneliness of self-improvement. Here's what nobody tells you about growth. It's not a ladder where everyone climbs together at the same pace. It's more like a road that forks, constantly, quietly, without warning. Every choice you make is also a fork. Every habit you build. Every book you read. Every morning you choose discipline over comfort. Each one takes you a little further down a path that not everyone is ready to walk. And this isn't anyone's fault. The people you're drifting from aren't bad. They're not holding you back on purpose. They're just at a different point on a different road. But your nervous system doesn't know that. Your nervous system just registers the distance and calls it loss. And you're far from alone in this. And the most painful version of that loneliness? It's not being alone in a room. It's being in a room full of people who knew the old you, and realizing the new you has no one to talk to yet. There's something else that comes with this. Something even harder to admit. Guilt. Because you didn't choose to grow away from them. You just chose to grow. And somewhere in the middle of that, you started to feel like you were the problem. Like wanting more was selfish. Like changing was a betrayal. Like you should just go back. Shrink yourself back to the size of the friendships that used to fit. And sometimes you did. You made yourself smaller to keep the peace. Stopped talking about your goals. Stopped sharing what excited you. Laughed at jokes that didn't land anymore. Just to feel like you still belonged somewhere. If this is familiar, I need you to hear something. Wanting to grow is not a character flaw. And you don't owe anyone a smaller version of yourself. Not your oldest friends. Not your family. Not the version of you from 3 years ago. So what do you do with this? First, grieve it properly. Not every drifted friendship is a failure. Some relationships were built for a version of you that no longer exists. That's not sad. That's just honest. Let yourself feel the loss of it without making it mean something terrible about you. Second, stop waiting to feel ready before looking for your people. The loneliness of growth doesn't end by going backward. It ends by finding people who are on a similar road. Not people who are identical to you. Not people who have everything figured out. Just people who are also choosing, quietly and imperfectly, to keep going. Those people exist. They're just harder to find than the people who were simply nearby when you were young. Third, and this is the one nobody says, learn to be okay in the in-between. There will be seasons where you're between communities. Where the old friendships have faded and the new ones haven't formed yet. That gap feels like failure. It's not. It's just the cost of being someone who refused to stop growing. Here's what I want you to take away from this. If you're in that lonely season right now, doing the work, changing, growing, and feeling like the road ahead has never been more empty, that's not a sign you're doing it wrong. That's a sign you're doing it for real. The people who never feel this loneliness are usually the ones who never left the starting line. And the people who are further down the road than you? Every single one of them walked through this exact stretch of silence. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're not too much. You're just becoming. And becoming is, for a while, a lonely thing. But it is not a permanent thing. If this video found you at the right moment, share it with someone who's in this season too. They probably won't tell you they need it. But they do. Subscribe if you want more of this. And go a little easier on yourself today. See you in the next one.